We are so excited today because we have a very special guest with us on Latina Sin Filtro, curator, dancer, and the voice of Magdalena from the Bronx. So give it up for Diana.
Yay! Round of applause.
How you doing? You already know.
So personally, I know Diana through my life partner, No. So she's basically my home away from home. So I'm so thankful to know her here in LA because, not having family out here is hard. My family here in LA. So Diana, set your scene for us, a little bit about yourself.
Hi, everyone. I am Diana Linda, and I am many things. Well, first and foremost, I'm just me, another human being on this earth that's a vessel. But I am a content curator. I'm a creative person. My passion is to help others. I have the gift of talking and bringing light to day-to-day chaos, and I enjoy making people feel good, and that may entail being Magdalena from the Bronx, and you'll meet her throughout this interview. I'm very comedic. I like talking to people. I like art. I'm a videographer, photographer. I have a background in ballroom dancing, makeup artistry. It's a wide range of things. So I don't like to put myself in a box, but I'm a creative person that has a passion for helping others. Yes, that's me.
I love that. Well, this is the first time I'm meeting you, Diana. So I'm already feeling your energy, and I love it. I'm all here for it. It's coming through the screen, and I'm loving it.
Thank you. It's an honor, and thank you for having me. This is I've done some live segments on Instagram, but this is my first official interview.
Where were you born and raised?
I was born in Hyattsville, Maryland. For those that don't know, that's the DMV, Maryland. Mm-hmm. My parents are from Nicaragua, and I was born and raised in Hyattsville, Louisdale to be exact.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, my folks are still there, and I love my city. I love DC. I'm gonna always rep. And I'm in LA, so I've been here for 9 years, and I still have to use my GPS to go around the corner. I do.
It's crazy out here.
It's crazy. I mean, I literally have to use my GPS for everything. It just really sucks. You got to go 3 miles, and that don't take you 37 minutes. Yeah.
So ridiculous.
It's bad. You guys just missed it. The bird was over here looking for somebody. I didn't know if you guys were going to end up catching the sound bite of that, but they literally just left. They were flying over my house for an hour and a half. If the night stalker was about to creep up.
Oh no.
Oh
but let's not. Yeah. Anyway. So yes.
So, and how was life growing up in a Hispanic household for you?
Oh my gosh. I'm going to be very honest. I really thought I was alone. Now that I'm older, I realized, dang, it wasn't just my parents. It's all of them. They all the same. Especially not just in the Latin culture, but even in the Nicaraguense culture. They're just dichos, sayings that I thought it was just my parents. And then I started getting around, my people. And I was like, y'all motherfuckers crazy. Yeah. I love it. I love growing up, being Latina. I feel like I grew up in a very well-diverse community, and having the parents that I have been so blessed to have the parents that I have. My parents are still married, going on 50 years.
Oh, wow.
I want to say 15 years. And it's just my brother and I have an older brother. We have an amazing relationship. My parents are definitely old school Latinos, and like I said, growing up in a very diverse community, it's helped me to be like well-rounded and still be really in tune with my Latin culture. Um, and yeah,
That's so amazing. Your
sorry.
parents are amazing. Your dad
Thank
is
you. Thank you. My
I see
dad is hilarious. He is something else. He can be very inappropriate. Sorry, Dad. Um, my mom is like old school Latina. Like if she could still put me in a bubble wrap and put me in a genie bottle, she would preferably do that. She wants to, if I'm at the grocery store, if I pull up at the house, she's like, are you across the street or are you on the side of the house? Cuidado con la Briana, like I'd be like, dang, mom. Like if she could, 3,000 miles away, my mom still tries to micromanage me, but I
Oh,
love it. I
that's
love
love.
it.
That's love.
I love it. But I'm still not too old to get an ass whooping.
Oh, yeah. No, that's all of us, I feel.
Get checked real
Yeah.
quick. Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. My dad literally choked me in 2009, which
no.
is now,
What?
it also didn't feel like, now it feels like a while ago, but for a while it didn't feel like it wasn't that long ago. But I was definitely a young adult and my dad choked me in the middle of like San Judas, Manawa. And I was like being a smart ass and my dad choked me like Bart and Homer type of situation. He was like, "What
Oh
did
my
you say?"
god.
I was like,
But look,
"Crazy."
you never talked
But
to me
and
any
then
type of way after that, did you?
nah, in the
After that?
sometimes, but
Oh,
it's like it's kind of bond that my dad and I have. Like I was able to be like, he was like, "Yeah, I'm sorry," and I was like, "It's all good." You know what I'm saying? I know you had to check
Yeah.
me, but that's what I'm saying. Nowadays you can't do that. They'll call the cops on you.
real
But
quick.
Mhm.
I'm still scared of the eye. You know the eye.
Oh, yeah.
They give you
Oh,
that eye. You're
it's
like,
the lip.
The
It's
lip.
the lip. Also, the
oh, it's the lip and the eye. Now kids be like, you got a twitch? You good? You'd be like, no, motherfucker. Like my child has no idea what it really is to grow up in an old school Latino house. I just think like just old school in general, because my daughter is not scared of me at all.
yeah, I think that goes for my kids too. They have no clue. They have no
Yeah, they
idea.
just don't.
They got
She
it
just
good.
thinks she just knows I have a bad mouth, and that may like check her a little bit. But I don't feel comfortable like spanking her. I don't have to. She's about to be 8, but I've never really had to. Yeah.
So you are currently working on something amazing, and you are part of an amazing organization. Did you wanna talk a little bit about that?
Yes. So I'm an ambassador. I just recently became an ambassador for an anti-bullying organization called Boo to Bullying.
Wow.
Boo to Bullying. They're based out of in Palm Springs in the greater Los Angeles area. And their mission is to be able to provide educational tools to students, K through 12. We have some amazing programs, specifically for K through 3. We have Cape Nation, that is for courage, appreciation, physical health, and education. And we are actually working on an animation project with some amazing voice actors, myself, alongside with Cassie Skirbo, who's our vice president of the organization, and the amazing Rob Paulson, who is the voice actor behind Pinky from Pinky and the Brains,
Whoa, that's so
Yakko from Animaniacs. It is just amazing.
cool.
Also with Jack Griffo, who's also a music artist. There's just so many people that I'm honored to be able to work alongside this project. It's an amazing organization. We have motivational speakers that go to different schools in person or virtually, and we have amazing guest speakers from day-to-day regular people to actors, musicians, artists, and we also have parents that who are, I get a little emotional, but we have parents that have experienced with their own child committing suicide, and they come and talk to schools and talk to students about that. And being that this is mental health awareness month, I think that it's important that we highlight that. And It's important to me. Like I said, I feel like I have the gift of talking to people, and I love talking to the youth. I love talking to people. I love to be able to talk about sensitive subjects and to be able to see things from a different lens, and to just shine light on things, even if some people may agree to disagree. I just think it's important to help people have healthy conversations about sensitive topics.
Yeah, and
So I love Boots Bullying. I love
yeah,
everything that they do, and it is an honor to be able to work alongside with them.
that's beautiful. And what you guys
Thank
are
you.
doing is like super important, especially for the youth. Like, I feel like it's super, super important. Like, I wish, like, as a kid, as a child, I had access to that. And
No, for
sometimes,
sure. And I think like when you think of the word bullying and growing up, it just sounds kind of, corny, right?
yeah.
Um, and
Wow,
for me, it's like you can't eradicate bullying. And um, I think it's important to not just talk about bullying, but it's for me, my mission and what I want to put into the universe is to like really help people, build their confidence and, you know, um, finding ways to get through life's obstacles, self-love. And I think that the more that you practice these things and building your self-esteem,
yeah,
it makes it significantly easier to get through those obstacles because you're going to be tested. You're
yeah,
going to be you're going to be tempted to do things that you shouldn't be doing. You're going to be tested in ways that's going to like, test your fear, test your, your insecurities. Um, and it's not so much about the things that happen to us, but it's about what we make of it. And um, yeah, you can't eradicate bullying. And if anything, it is just another how do I say this? Like I said, I feel like it's about what I make of it. And I think that if we can instill in the youth as young as 5 years old,
yeah,
instilling positivity and self-love, even if you may look significantly different from someone, whether if it's physically, neurologically. There's people who are absolutely, you know, beautiful and don't love themselves.
yeah.
And think that if we can work on instilling self-love and that confidence at a young age, it does make it easier to get through those types of obstacles in life. And exposing the youth to having these healthy conversations.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
I really love that. I think the age that you mentioned, like starting at least at the age of 5, I think that's a great thing at that age. Kids are sponges, and that's like the prime time to install these type of uh, mind thoughts and just kind of accepting others as they are, self-love, like you said, and learning their insecurities and trying to build them up and starting that at a young age. I think that's a great thing. Uh,
Yeah. It's like also talking about like people with disabilities. It's really sad.
it
It's like
really
really,
is.
really sad. I met these amazing parents of this young man, 21 years old, Marky, who passed away shortly after the new year. He had a severe skin disorder, and he had passed away. His name, Marky the Rock. He is so inspiring. I met his parents. Amazing people. But I think that we don't talk enough about people that get bullied that have disabilities,
Yeah,
and I think tying it back to speaking to the very young demographic, right? Because there's people who have been practicing horrible things all their life, being bullies
Mhm.
or, all of those things. I mean, there's things that we've all practiced, good and bad. And sometimes it's hard to like break those things. But if we really target the youth, they have a better future if we can start with the younger demographic. And like I grew up where my parents would, if I saw someone that looked different from me, I would stare. But I'm a talkative person, so I would just talk to people. But I think a lot of us can relate. Our parents would say like, "Don't look, like don't
Yeah.
look," and you'd be like, like now you're like making it so obvious that you're trying not
yeah,
to look. If you like,
Wow.
you just act weird, and they're just another human being. And they're just like, just as amazing as you are. And I think we should embrace the curiosity and like, what are great ways what is a healthy way to approach someone? Or if you are young and curious and say like, hey, like what happened? What would be the best way to approach that? There's a guy who does these virtual interviews, special book by special kids. I think his name is Christopher. Shout out to Christopher. He's amazing. He interviews people with physical or neurological disabilities. And I mean, he really touches up on things and is very informative, not only on what the actual disease or disability is. He really like dives into it and helps people understand it and like how to ask questions, how to approach people without coming off, in a disrespectful or an offensive way. So I think it's really important to teach the young demographic of how to do that. And so, and all those healthy practices, you grow up to become a good person. I think my job as a mom, if I feel like I've done my job, if I've raised my child to be a good human being, like that's it.
Yeah. And I feel like sometimes as much good influence someone could have outside of home, it also depends their at home life also. I know that there's kids who have positive outlets at their school, but when they come home, it's like these negative things. And it's like, there's not really a balance and they don't even know like, okay, am I doing the right thing? Am I saying the right thing? I feel like some kids can get really confused.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the key is just having a healthy communication with your child and being able to recognize what's healthy and what's unhealthy, how to identify what is a healthy friendship and what isn't, and how we treat others as adults. We have a reference, like how healthy or unhealthy we are in our relationships with our with our partners or with friends. Like you have a reference. How were your parents like when they were married or when they're with someone, and what is my reference of an unhealthy relationship? I've had some experiences of being in an unhealthy relationship. And so I think being open with your children and not like, there's some things you can definitely filter and there's a time for certain subjects, but I think it's important to help identify those things at a young age, because nowadays there's really not much filter. These kids are getting exposed to the internet,
TikTok,
social media.
Everything is on there.
You can't filter everything, so it's best to try to expose them to certain things in a healthy way, giving them balance, and not trying to sugarcoat everything. You just got to remind them that it can be a very cruel world. Yeah. But you may not be able to control everything, but like what lives within you is the only thing that you have control over. So in the midst of the chaos that's been going on for the last, 2 years, there's people who've been dealing with chaos all their life, whether if it's in their home, whether if it's their health, whether what's going on in the world. There are people that are dealing with some real chaos and they still find peace within. And I think that's beautiful. I think that is love. I think that I think that's something that is a mom goal for me with my child and in my family, is to be like, okay, well, we got a little curveball. What are we going to do about it? I mean, because if it's just like a horrible experience, you can't just have a horrible experience and gain nothing from it. So we might as well turn it into something positive. Whether if it's like, don't do it again. If there's a big rock, don't stand under it. If someone cuts the string and it falls on you, not to do it again. Like, don't stand under it. It's just like, don't touch the stove. It's hot.
Yeah.
And so I think that life's experiences are just beautiful lessons, and it's not about what happens to us, it's about what we make of it. And so, throw a little grain of salt and keep it pushing. And I think humor is the best medicine. You got to find humor in the midst of whatever it is that you go through. If you're stuck in traffic, if you got cut off, if someone was talking about you at work, or your partner is like triggering you, and they know your triggers and they know how to get under your skin, and you'd be like, Scott, the patience, this is the test. And you know what? Not today, Satan. And you just gotta laugh. You gotta be like, oh, is this the lesson you want? Okay. Note taken, And Marta knows we talked about, and now I'm veering off. So let me know if I'm doing too much.
No,
but
you're fine.
We talk about the roommate, right? So that's like the roommate.
I wanted you to talk about this. I thank you so much. I wanted you
the
to
roommate.
roommate.
So, what is this guy's name? Michael Singer. I didn't want to mess up his name. Michael Singer wrote the Untethered Soul book.
I need to buy that book.
Mr. Singer, let me tell you something that changed my life.
What's the name of the book again?
The Untethered Soul.
The Untethered Soul. What is this about?
It is about, oh my gosh, I'm not really good at summarizing things, but let me tell you what I got from it. So it's a very easy read. It's not a big ass book. It's an easy read. Okay, and I was never really into reading books like that. If I'm going to be very honest, it's my first official book that I've read as an adult. And I've completed it. I read it January of 2019. January of 2020, and it changed my life. I literally talk about it maybe once a day. I probably will grab a reference from that book in day to day. So this book has taught me about not to take things so serious and paying attention to your roommate. The roommate is like your conscience. All the chatter.
I got a lot of chatter going on.
You know what I'm saying? Like it could be like just like how you handle life's obstacles and like finding the beauty in the midst of chaos. I mean, I could literally dive in for this for the next 10 minutes. So let's go. So I'm going to give you an example. Like your boss pissed you off. You know what I'm saying? John pissed you off. And your roommate is like, fuck John. You'd be like, you know what? Yeah, fuck John. Excuse my language. Your roommate's like filing her nail. Like, I say you quit your job. And you're like, you know what? I should. I'm going to quit my motherfucker. She'd be like, I say you do that shit right now. You know what? I'm going to do that right now. So you go, John, I quit. And she like, yeah, tell him. And then tell him what you think about him. And you know what? La Julana y tu madre, and then you walk away and be like, it's cool. So you go in, you call your friend, like, yeah, I didn't quit my job. And then you go to sleep, because when Latinos stressed out, we go to sleep. I go to sleep.
Oh yeah.
And I can definitely testify to this experience. I've done this more than once. I've definitely done this more than once, probably twice in my life. In my younger days, I was like, when I'm done. Because I can kind of be cutthroat. It's something about Pisces. When we sick and tired of being sick and tired, I am sick and tired, but I have to be honest. My roommate had definitely put some fuel to the fire, and she'd be like trying to pump me up. And I'm like, so like the next day, I'm like, I bitch, I got no job. and my roommate's like, yeah, so what you gonna do? And I'm like, bitch, what we gonna do? She's like, shit, I don't know. I'm like, wait. But you convinced me to quit my job. She's like, you quit your job. We were just talking, and so roommate. you're like, heart start racing. You're like, man, oh my God, I didn't even think this through. So like, sometimes you got to watch the chatter. A lot of times, 99% of the time, you are not those thoughts. And those thoughts can become things. But your thoughts don't have to define you. Your thoughts, it's just, it can take, your thoughts are the reasons why we're successful, why we're not successful. Our thoughts are why we are in this interview. Your thoughts are why you had a child, because you laid in bed, everything that you do is based off of your thoughts. And a lot of the times thoughts and feelings, where do they intertwine? How do we separate them? How do we separate this and this, right? So there's like, if you're pissed, right? So what I learned about this book, like if Diana's upset, right? I'll be in the shower and I'm fucking upset. So I've learned to be like, I'm humorous. I'm like, shit, Diana's motherfucking pissed, right? My roommate's like, I'm fucking mad, right? And my body's like, you feel it in your heart, or like if you tripping, you arguing with your significant other, you may feel it like in your solar plexus, or in your root chakra. You feel like feel unsure. Sometimes you get the bubble guts before an interview. These are the portals of your body that communicate with you when you're excited. You get this adrenaline, right? So you have portals in your body. That's why we get sick, right? When you're dealing with a loss, you may have a heart attack, or you might be having some issues, with pregnancy. And it's all like, all of these things are related to emotional trauma. Or why some people are healthy is because they know how to communicate with their body. They don't try to suppress feelings. Because if you suppress things, you start finding you having gut issues, so.
Wow.
And so when you're suppressing feelings, you end up having some psychological issues. And then you having children being mentally disturbed, and now you giving birth to mentally disturbed children. And then that's where the generational curse be going in. You got to be breaking that cycle. But let's go back to the book. So
you making me want to buy this book right now.
I know. I'm about to send y'all the link.
Please do.
You know what I'm saying? The Untethered Soul. It's some deep.
I'm always in my thoughts, and I think that's what causes me sometimes to be so insecure, and I don't want that to define me. Like, I have my days where I feel confident, but that's because I have my positive thoughts. I'm feeling good. There are my days that I'm feeling like some straight up shit, and again, that might be my roommate.
It's the roommate. You be like,
it's my roommate, and
it's like, Sunday. Isn't it your day off?
Like, I can't
go home, Roger.
I feel unmotivated. I don't feel like productive. I don't feel like I'm a good mom, a good partner. I don't feel like I'm doing anything with my life, or like, fuck, man, I see these people doing this shit. Like, why the fuck am I slacking? Like, what am I doing wrong? Maybe I'm just not meant to be happy.
And you can come up with a laundry list of why you don't like A, B, and C. Your roommate be like, oh yeah, bitch, and you know what? I don't like that big toe. You know what? That big toe funny looking. You know what? I don't like the way your cellulite look. Like, you know what? You're mad because you can't wear lipstick. You mad because you can't put on this dress. I get to put on this dress. Okay. You mad because you ain't me. you don't even like you. Okay. I don't like you. And the book told me, the book said, if you took the roommate, this is some funny shit. If you took the roommate and put it into a physical body and you hung out with that motherfucker for a whole day, you'll be sitting like you're imagine this is what the roommate does every day. You be sitting there like trying to watch TV, and you'd be like trying to find something. You'd be like, did I feed the cats today? Shit, I didn't feed the motherfucking cats. That's the roommate. You'd be like, you know what? I forgot to call that person. You know what? My credit score. I need to go check my credit score. You know what? You know what? I'm not gonna call back such and such because I feel some type of way. And imagine if you took that and you put it into someone that you literally sat next to for a whole day. You'd be like, I am trying to watch a show and you just won't stop talking. I don't like you. And you just don't like that. So you have to you have to really observe the chatter and know when to turn it off and start really changing the narrative. You got to first acknowledge those feelings because your feelings are valid. I'm not talking about your feelings not being valid. They're absolutely valid. And you have to look at them. You got to be like, okay, why do I feel like this? You got to be real with yourself. You got to learn how to stop taking shit personal, stop playing victim. It's the whole fucking world against you. Then you're like, this is the role that you're playing in your fucking movie. Yeah. Aren't you tired of playing the victim? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Where do you participate in the fuckery? You got to participate in something. You know what I'm saying? So while you're constantly getting fired, while you're constantly beefing with your friends, while you're constantly beefing with your siblings, while you're constantly beefing at the red light, like you are the common denominator, bruh, while you attract certain relationships. why you keep having certain experiences, you start to see the repetition, like you participate in this. And, you know, how bad do things need to get in order for change? And I forgot where I was going with my initial thought, but the purpose of the book is to know how to address your feelings, observe it, and say, okay, I'm observing my thoughts. I'm watching my body feeling terrible, and I'm just watching, because you're watching. No one is seeing, no one is feeling, no one is hearing what you're seeing, feeling, and hearing. It's not even their reality. It's your false. You created this false fucking reality, and all that shit is living within you. And you just have to learn to say, I'm observing Diana being pissed. And I'm going to give her 30 minutes to cuss and do whatever she feels like she needs to do. If she wants to disconnect, if she needs a day to herself, I'm going to let her have that. And you have to ask yourself, like, okay, in the moment of being very upset, you got to say, well, all right, this is going to depend on how I'm going to react. So am I going to be mad in 72 hours about this? Probably. Am I going to be mad about this in a week? No. So you try to manage your feelings at that moment. Because sometimes you be like, I'm about to go move. You know, this ain't going to work out. You know, so you got to watch. You got to be like, well, am I going to really be upset in the next, 72 hours, 48 hours, the first 48? You know what I'm saying? You gotta ask yourself, so you'd be like, you know what? No, but I'm going to give myself time, because that doesn't mean that what I'm feeling isn't valid. You have to, because all you're going to do is suppress. And guess what happens to people that be shooting motherfuckers at the red light? They're like, one more motherfucking person pissed me off. And you just like give them a friendly beep, to go. And they be like, boom,
off. Yeah.
And people are suppressing feelings. And y'all can't be suppressing that shit, because it's not that serious. Ain't nothing that serious to be stealing your joy.
Wow.
It's nothing that serious. Not nothing. And if it is, you gotta let it go. If it's that serious, you gotta let that shit go. So the last thing I'll touch on this book is there is a nerve that we have, right? Which are your triggers, right? If there's like things in your relationship, or there's like pet peeves, or there's that one thing, whether if it's a family member, it's a situation, or something you just do not, or the way you handle things. Some people, if they take things personal, and like, I don't want to talk about it. So if that means affecting everyone else, because that's a nerve that is ticking me. I don't want to touch that nerve. Yeah. So, I don't want to touch that nerve. So if that nerve, if my destination is to get from point A to point B, and it's literally a mile up the street, and it's a straight road, but that straight road is literally my nerve, I'm going to go take the other back road. I'm going to hop on the highway. I'm going to do all that to get to my destination. It might take me 20 minutes longer, but can't nobody touch that nerve. Can't nobody, don't touch that, because I don't like that. And so you end up hurting other people. When I say going out of your way, you end up hurting other people, because you're not willing to address that thing that is your problem, and you make your problem everyone else's fucking problem. And so when you just face the music, we can agree to disagree. But some people are just like, be like so angry, and they make their problems your problem. And you're like, I'm sorry, I can't own your feelings. Your partner cannot own your feelings. If this is how you've been handling problems in your past, it's not going to work. And time will tell everything. Let's just face the music together. If your partner has problems with communication, and be like, look, bitch, I love you, but that is not my problem. But I will hold your hand, and we're going to look in the mirror, and we're going to be like, we're going to get through this shit. But the way you handle our differences is really affecting me. And I don't like who you're taking me out of my character now, because I'm not used to that. My reference and how I handle relationships is definitely not like that. And that's with friends, and that's with my partner. Like, there's just certain shit that is foreign to me. And I'm like, yo, I don't get down like that. Your problem is not my motherfucking problem. This shit ain't gonna motherfucking work if you think you're gonna function like that with me in this friendship. That's not gonna work for me. And so this is how it's gonna work on my terms in the healthiest way. I ain't gonna ever make somebody do something that's gonna make them unhealthy. I may have triggering conversations that's gonna trigger you to my goal is to bring you a little closer to love, right? Because ain't nothing that fucking serious unless you like people are comfortable being disturbed. People like to be. Some people are like, oh, well, this is how I am with my sibling. You're like, well, fuck. I mean, do you desire change? Do you want to like be in a different space with that person? Do you desire to be in a different space with your spouse? And you'd be like, well, yeah. Well, like, well, if you're not going to do nothing different, you're not going to get anything different. So we're going to have to uncomfortably go through this healing, because healing is not pretty and pink and crystals and like sage. None of that shit mean nothing if you're not really doing the fucking work. You can't be like, oh, si Dios quiere. Like, I mean, yeah, but like you got choice to like put one foot in front of the other. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta do the fucking work. And that's the end of my thought.
Can I have you like right here? I just need you like on my shoulder, just like, listen, bitch. You better listen to me. I need you to be my neighbor. How about that?
Girl, I'm here. I'm just a virtual call away.
Hey, I'm about to start. Like, I'm loving like the realness. I'm loving everything that's coming out of like your words. It's facts, and it's shit that people actually think. And I think with me reading that book, I think it might help me a lot, because I really have that horrible mindset that I just have that negativity most of the time, and I cannot let that carry me out, because if anything, that's just going to hold me back. And that can be with my family members, that's in my relationship, so
yeah,
I'm loving it. I'm here for it.
Yeah, I remember
I got one last thing. I got a book that helps. I think I've showed this to Marta, I'm not sure, but it's the Astrology of You and I
need that. I need those two books. Like,
I have it, like I literally have it here, but I'm not gonna stand up. It's an amazing book. I got it on Amazon. It's probably like $12. The Astrology of You and Me. And it breaks down all the zodiac signs, right? And it has it in like category of work, love, and family / friendships. And so for the category of Pisces under work, it's like it gives you very basic. First of all, it just tells you about your zodiac sign just in general, and then it breaks down the categories. The Pisces boss, how to ask Pisces boss for a raise, how to travel with the Pisces boss, right? And then like how to quit, or how to break bad news to the Pisces boss. And then it'll show the strengths, the weakness, and the interactive style for the Pisces boss. And then you have the Pisces employee, how to fire the Pisces employee, how to challenge the Pisces employee, their strength, weakness, interactive style. Then you have the, competitor, colleague. And then you have love, how to impress the Pisces, Pisces on the first date, strength, weakness, interactive style, the ex Pisces. And then the same thing with family. You got like, how's the Pisces mom, the Pisces child, the Pisces sibling, older or younger. And what I love about this book is that when my friends come over, they're like, oh shit, I am like that, but it also allows you to tap into your partner or your colleague that you really don't get along with, or your boss. You're just like, I just can't see eye to eye with this bitch, and it allows you to not take anybody fucking personal, because the reality is how someone may react to your honesty, it's just a reflection of who they are. It ain't got nothing to do with you. How people handle confrontation, how people handle stress, how people handle just different, and it does. And I'm not going to say that everything is exactly ties to their zodiac sign, but it allows you to be like, okay, now I understand my partner more. Maybe I understand my boss more. Maybe I'll I'll do this. Maybe they like surprises. They like, they like these type of things. So let me butter their muffin a little bit. And you start to learn how to work with these people based off of their zodiac sign. And it just allows you to work on not taking shit so fucking personal, because it ain't got nothing to do with you. If somebody was, if somebody, however they are, they was going to be like that, whether if you was in the picture or not. It ain't got nothing to do with you. And so when you remove yourself, it's less you, more God, and you got to like find ways to like find love and, compassion, it really makes it easier to go through these obstacles. It gets easier when you don't take things personal, you handle life's obstacles easier, and it gets easier and easier because you're practicing on like, I'm not responsible for how he or she reacted. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Why this person was pissed off because they had a bad day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't own that. How you choose to react ain't got shit to fucking do with me.
Yeah.
But yes, being self-aware, how you talk to people, being self-aware it's really up to you. But looking at things from the outside, like reminding yourself that you can't be affected by other people's behavior, like towards you. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're a good person, especially if you working on not taking shit personal, you gotta remind yourself, like, you think they're like that because of you. You think God created them to be an asshole, just to be an asshole towards you, because you ain't shit.
Yeah.
He was like, why he cheat on me? It ain't got nothing to do with you.
That's their problem. That's their own issue.
Even if you participated in why he wanted to cheat, he or she still didn't have to. You know what I'm saying? Why people are unfair, why people are the way they are, it ain't got nothing to do with you. If he cussed you out at the light, they gonna cuss out the next person at the light.
And
yeah.
And whatever
That's
it is.
it. The astrology of you and me, it really just be like, oh, now I get why this person acts like that under pressure.
What app do I have? I have this app called CoStar. And like me and my group of friends were like, okay, let's download it, everybody. I don't know the time of my birth, but I mean, I still did it. Obviously I'm a Taurus, whatever. So we get to know like our rising and all that stuff. So we're all comparing ours, and we're all like, oh, that's why you're like that. And me and my partner, we were on the balcony. We were reading ours for like our weekly one, and we kind of look at each other. We're like, wow, no wonder we're not really getting along this week. All right, makes sense. Like,
yeah,
probably not even like to the T, because it's not exactly my time, but it be making sense sometimes. You'd be like, oh shit. All right, well then that's why I'm like looking at her.
And it's so beautiful because you realize that you got your own flaws, and we have our shadow. You have the great, the good side of our sign, and then you have your shadow shit that sometimes wants to overshadow all of those other great qualities. And so you got to look at that shit and be like, that is true about me, and I don't know if I like that, and it's really up to you if you want to change certain things. And it's just beautiful, because then now you can work on having healthier relationships with people. You start to realize, well, that doesn't work for me. I don't want to fuck with that person. Or, you know what, I genuinely accept this person for who they are, and I'm going to give them love and grace in moments of, like, I'm a Pisces. I tend to move very slow, and my friends be like, okay. And I'll be letting Marta and Noemi know. I'm like, listen, I set up the whole movie night, and I'm definitely running late. And I just found out like my rising is Cancer. And I was like, ay, pobrecita Marta, no wonder que me puede aguantar. Like, she can literally, she deals with me.
You have
deals
the patience,
with me
Marta? Yeah.
And she handles me with so much grace. And like, Marta and I connected from the moment that we met. And it was just so, like, I love people. I really don't like people, but I love people, if that makes sense. And Marta and I we just literally connected, and we be talking and we be having some deep conversations. Even when Marta's like upset, like, I love it when Marta calls me upset, because we just be having the funniest conversation. And she's like, girl, you literally
y'all better put me on
turn
that
my frown upside down, girl. Yes. I genuinely love helping people, like, in the midst of their chaos. I'm like, well, let's talk
Yeah.
about it.
I
Why do you
remember
feel like that?
one time, like, it was, like, when I first moved to LA, I was so upset, my anxiety was skyrocketing, and it was because Noemi was out with her friend, and I was just like, "You know what? I'm just gonna buy a flight, I'm gonna go back to Maryland because F this, like, no, I
That's your
just can't
neighbor
do it."
talking.
That's when she brought up the roommate, and she was like,
Oh, I keep
"Look,
saying neighbor. Ooh,
It's okay. You're
neighbor."
good. The motherfucker is next door. Shit.
And I was like, "What do you mean?" And then I started listening to her, and then I started calming down, and I was just like, "Okay, I really need to take a chill pill." And I was like, "Bitch, you need to shut up, like, right now." And then, like, ever since then, I always, like, think about that. I'm just like, "Okay," like, once I start overthinking things or whatever, I'm just like, "It's just my roommate," and I'm just like, "I'm just gonna shut it out." And now I've gotten a lot better at shutting her out, and now I just listen to me. So it's like
Yeah.
whatever like, whatever's up in here that's negative, I learn how to tune it out, or if not, if it's something that's a bit reasonable, then I learn to listen to it and learn how to manage it,
there you
and then
go.
now I can, tread through water more lightly. So,
Yeah.
it's like
Because
my
there's always and that's a beautiful thing, Marta, and I applaud you for that because it
Yay.
is not easy.
It's not.
It's not easy to look at those triggers and be like, okay, so, what are
It
we gonna
sure
do
is
with you
not.
today? It's very hard
Yeah.
to face those triggers, and you just got to give yourself time. You just got to and just like laugh because it's not that serious. And one of my number one things that I do when I am emotional, if it's, you know, um, my dad's cancer, or it's, I'm a homeschool mom, and I work from home, and I
Girl,
work
that's a lot.
creatively, and you
That's
know, it's very hard to manage my day-to-day life without an actual, like, I have a schedule, but I really don't, and I don't have nobody like looking over my shoulder to make sure that I'm doing what I need to do. And it's very it can be very difficult. So in moments where I do feel overwhelmed, or I'm very hard on myself, or I'm angry, or whatever it is, one of my number one things is, and Gary Vee talks about this, is just like being in a space of gratitude. Like, all right, I got all my limbs. I can bathe myself. I can feed myself. I can drive away and like go, decompress. Or I am still physically in control. I can see, taste, feel. My parents are alive. My brother's good. My daughter's good. My man is good. Roof overhead, food on the table. It's just, dang, I got a hell of a lot of motherfucking blessings. Now the list is going on. And so
Yeah.
I'm like, everyone's okay.
Yeah.
So whatever it is I'm going through, yes, I'm upset, but ain't nothing like, there's nothing that's crazy going on in my life. And so I have to, if we can focus on giving all that, some people can be very, very negative, and that they just love, and they don't realize that they love to be negative, and they don't even know that they love it, but it's such a comfortable place. It's
What is
such a
it called?
comfortable place
misery loves
that
company.
I know how to be angry. I know how to be like unhappy and disappointed. Like, it's just such a place of comfort that we don't realize that we're comfortable there. And God forbid shit starts going good. You're like, oh shit, everything's going on too fucking good. Something's gotta be going wrong soon. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you can't wait for shit to hit the fan. Yep. I knew it. I knew you would
Yes, it does.
cheat. Or I knew my credit score was going to go down. Well, like, bitch, you ain't paid the bills all the time.
That's why.
You keep maximizing your shit, going over your budget. You know what I'm saying?
God.
Like, I knew she would feel some type of way. That's because you overstepping her boundaries.
Yep. So
The fuck? I mean, of course someone's going to feel like that. Are you not aware?
mhm.
So, dang, I lost my train of thought. But what I'm trying to say is, being in a space of gratitude allows you to be like, all right, cool. My feelings are valid, but I shouldn't be this angry with my sibling. I shouldn't be this angry with my spouse, because, man, tomorrow is not promised. Love is everything. And no one, when we leave this earth, anytime when someone is gone, everyone thinks about like their experience with you. Are you like man, like that person's always angry. I remember she was, oh my gosh, so sad that she had to go, being such an angry woman. You know, are you a loving person? Are you giving? Do you give back? You know, what are people going to say about you? You know, and I feel like I hope that I leave that imprint in people's life that, man, Diana taught me like to not take shit so fucking serious. And that humor is the best fucking medicine. Go watch Dumb and Dumber. I'll be saying some dumb. I will literally belittle myself in a comedic way just to bring some laughter, because ain't nothing that fucking serious. It ain't nothing. You couldn't pay me enough for that type of misery. That's not fun. And I know what it's like to be bitter. I know what it's like to be unhappy. I know. So I'm not talking shit like I don't know what that's like. I know what that's like. I know what it's like to be blessed and highly favored, being ungrateful, being unhappy, blaming the government, blaming the world. They ain't nothing worse than that. So you're just asking to be sick. And an unpleasant person, like, ew, I don't even want to hang out with me.
Wow.
I don't like who I used to be. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like that, Diane. I don't like who I was yesterday, because I want to be a better person every single day. And what's made the difference in who I am today is exposing myself to good people, letting some things go. And sometimes you gotta love people enough to let them go. I love you so much that I have to let you go, because if I stick around, I feel like I'm condoning this behavior. And I can no longer condone this behavior because I fuck with you that hard. I will see you at the top. I got my own demons I'm working with. But bitch, we can't be friends. Wow. Or, you know what? I can't fuck with you. That is absolutely not okay. You know, and you got to be okay with making those tough decisions. You got to practice making those tough decisions. You got to practice facing those nerves, because otherwise you're going to be living your whole life being an unpleasant person.
I mean, I feel like it's a work in progress to get to that point, because it seems easier said than done. I mean, what you're saying sounds so encouraging. Like, I want to have that mentality all the time, but I know me, and I know I can't. I know I'm not mentally there. Maybe I have to work my way there. It's like what you said. It's not all crystals and saging. That's all. You have to like mentally take yourself there, prepare yourself to take yourself there. And you know, just the way you're saying it just sounds so easy.
Yeah, but it's hard.
It's hard. It's the journey. It ain't even, and you're never going to be the, oh, kumbaya, you know, the destination. I desire to be at that destination. I mean, it's the journey. It's of course I cuss up a storm. Of course, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to be tested. You know, you can't, you're like, oh God, I pray for patience. Well, shit, I'm going to put you through some tests. You're going to be like, dang, you know, and you're going to be tested. You don't get patience by God not putting you through life's obstacles.
Yeah.
You find the beauty in all of that. Like, you don't have to be living under a rock the rest of your life, living to 100 years old, and God be like, okay, cool. You got enough food and water. You know what I'm saying? Like, you good. You know what I'm saying? What a way to live. That's not a way to live. And, it's just not that serious. And I think focusing on the desire feeling is the goal. And that's another book. The Desire Map is focusing on the desire, like everything that you want to, how you want to feel, you know, mapping out your life based on how you want to feel, instead of like, I strive, or my goal is to be a doctor, or my goal is to be a lawyer, but like, you don't like doing paperwork. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be an accountant. You'd be like, you must like numbers. And you're like, no, my dad wants me to come to school here and pay for my tuition. And all I, you know, and like Danielle Laporte said in the book, she's like, I said, well, I see Mercedes and Prozac. You know, if you don't really like numbers, you probably shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
So it's like, we, you know, sometimes striving and setting goals puts pressure on yourself. And you end up, if you even attain the degree, or attain the home, or attain the car, A lot of times you don't even feel good. You're like, damn, I got the degree, but I feel empty. I don't even want to do this. Or like, I bought a house, but I'm stressed the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? I should have fucking bought a condo, or I should be renting the rest of my life. Instead of going on 8 vacations, you probably need a staycation. Probably just put a few X's on your calendar and say, I'm busy doing nothing.
Yeah.
I'm busy resting, because you might be a bitch that need a vacation from her vacation, you know? And so a lot of times the things that we want to attain really doesn't fulfill us and bring us any fucking joy. And you can be like, I want to lose 20 pounds. Why? You know, because I want to feel good. Okay. Yeah. All right. So that's the fuel. I really don't want to motherfucking go to the gym, but I swear I love the way I feel when I'm done. Because I go against my roommate. Be like, bitch, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? You be like, I did that. You know what I'm saying? And your roommate be like, see? I was testing you. I knew you could do it. And then you start to hear the roommate starts hyping you up. Yeah. You start changing the narrative. Your roommate be like, yeah, bitch. Yeah, you want to go come. Remember that? You be like, ooh, yeah, right? Right. You and your roommate, y'all just start like bouncing off of each other.
You start doing them little squats. You're like, okay.
Yeah, she'd be like, ooh, bitch. You'd be like, ooh, are you hyping me up, roommate? She'd go, yeah, girl. You be like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you and your roommate start getting along. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
that's goals right there. That's goals.
That's goals. So focusing on the desired feeling. If you make priority, if making happiness a priority, everything will literally change. If it doesn't feel good, you got to let it go. You got to start disconnecting from people, places, things that don't feel good. And so when you make feeling good a priority, everything changes. And that's a lot of what the book is about. And the second half of the book is like a workbook, and you do a lot of like little activities in there. That's just very helpful on how to cope with life's obstacles and just finding the beauty in the midst of chaos.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful.
It is.
You were saying, Jocelyn, about like, man, I can't wait to be there. Like, I'm not even there. I'm just enjoying the journey, watching myself flip the fuck out. I'd be like, ooh, you mad. Ooh, girl, you real spicy today. You know, and I'd just be like, you know, I'd be driving. I'd be like, oh, you mad, girl. You look good, man. You know that, right? I'd be like, I know, but I'm pissed. I am pissed. And you'd be like, bitch, I know you're angry. Or if I'm sad about, you know, my dad's going through another obstacle with his cancer, and I'll catch myself like I want to cry, and I'd be like, bitch, go on, cry. You'd be like, you know, oh, I'm crying because I love my daddy. And it's not that I'm trying to manifest this cancer to get any worse. It's because you a daddy's girl. It's okay. Go on and cry, baby girl. I like comfort my body because I don't want to be sick. Shit, hell, if I suppress that. So go on, cry, girl. And I'd be like, thank you for being there for me. I'd be like, I know, girl, I got your back. You need to work on these arms, girl. They're a little loose. You got to work. I'd be like, I know. I'd be like, okay, roommate. Nobody was asking about how big my arms are. Okay, I'm gonna shut up. And you just gonna give yourself some compassion and be like, well, my daddy's here today.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of times you end up being angry with yourself if you're depressed in your relationship. You angry with yourself because you lost a loved one. You angry with yourself because you left the job, or the job let you go, or something didn't work in your favor. And you just be like, well, I feel like this. You got to address why you feel. You got to be like, oh, I understand. It's okay, but we're going to get through this. Because you know what? Maybe in a week you might still be mad. But like in 30 days, you ain't going to be mad. You're like, man, you're right. But for now, we're going to cry. You're like, yeah, you're just going to hold yourself. You go and play that movie and make yourself feel good. You better go roll up a blunt or something. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, you just gotta like laugh at it. You be like, God, I'm listening. I'm surrendering. You just gotta throw a little humor in there, because that too shall pass. Raise your hand if you've gone through a terrible breakup.
Oh, we all have, all of us.
You know what I'm saying? And remember, you thought you couldn't get through that shit, and we already at an hour and 2 minutes. You remember you be like, then you be like that Kim K cry. That ugly cry. You be looking like Rudolph out this month. You know what I'm saying? I can't wake up like that. Fuck him. You know what I'm saying? Fuck her. Look, you just be mad. And then like you look at him now, you be like, oh, you ugly. I don't know what this is. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you look at pictures of yourself in the past, you're like, girl, what was you wearing? You thought you was fly. Back then I was. Or back then you thought you was cute then, but I ain't tripping off you no more. So it's just like, you just got to allow yourself to cope with your feelings, because all of that will pass, and it'll be, and if you manage your feelings better, you'll be able to like embrace those experiences, and you'll be able to take those experiences and share them with your children. You'll be like, girl, let me tell you about my first boyfriend.
Yeah.
And you take those experiences and you share it with a friend, or you at the bus stop and you're like, you know what? I have been there before. And let me tell you how I got through it. And it's because it's not even about you. Because when you work on your shit, everyone else is safer around you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your children, your partner, your parents, the person at the red light, the cashier. When you work that motherfucking red light, motherfuckers be like, cutting you off and shit. And you
Pissing me
just
off
gotta
now.
know how to handle it with grace. You gotta know how to handle it with grace. I've definitely caught people at the red light, pretty hot. And I'd be like, baby, you too cute to be acting like that. Man, you just go on ahead of me. Just go on. And they'd be like, you know what? It wasn't even that serious. I was like, see, you was getting all hyped up for nothing.
Yep.
I just say when my mom says, "Mátate pues, mátate," when they be cutting me off.
Matate pues.
And I'm just like, I need to stop saying
That's
that.
yo, I definitely say it. And my daughter, who doesn't speak fluent in Spanish, would be like, what does that mean?
No.
But I've been talking a lot. See, Yoselin, I told you, we didn't even get to go to the other damn
No,
questions.
listen, I feel this has been kind of spicy and interesting. I
It
love it.
is. It is. This has been such a great conversation.
I know. Diana, like, I love how, like, I don't know, you've been so influential, like, as far as, like, my life for the short amount of time that I've known you, and I truly love it. I love you for that. Because, like,
I love
I
you.
don't know, each time, like, I talk to you, I walk away with something new, and that's, like, really good. So, if you ever, like, question yourself, like, "Am I really helping people?" or whatever, you are.
You are, girl. Listen, it's been an hour since I officially met you, and I'm telling you, you've said a few things that's like kind of like sticking with me.
Yeah.
And books, I'm gonna get those damn books, okay?
Yes, so we'll put that in the caption for
Yeah.
your audience.
A book club.
Yes.
That's
the
awesome.
Untethered Soul, the Astrology of You and Me, and the Desire Map.
Yeah.
I highly recommend those top 3. And it's a beautiful journey to get to know yourself, and getting to know and mold the person that you desire to become, because it's going to make you feel good. It's not about attaining shit. It's not about attaining things. It's about feeling good.
Yeah.
And touching base, Yoselin, when you were saying like, man, I'm not there. I can't wait to get there. It's beautiful when like you catch yourself what we would consider like, oh, I was slipping, I didn't work out for 2 weeks and I've been on it for 2 months, or, oh, I lashed out on my partner, or, I cussed somebody out, or I said something wrong. Like, it's not even about those moments. It's about the recovery. It's about being like, you know what? I'm just gonna, I caught myself slipping. I'm just gonna dust myself off, recognize it, and pick up where you left off. It's about the falling and getting back up. It's about the getting
out of it.
Yeah, it's what you make out of it. It's like, you're human. Yeah. We ain't supposed to be working 7 jobs. We ain't supposed to be like, we were not born perfect.
Yeah.
We're here to experience each other. We came in this joint by ourselves. We leaving by ourselves. And what do we leave behind? What are people gonna, when we're gone, what are people gonna say about us? Yeah. And those are the things that matter to me. Yeah. Is my character. What did I teach you? What did I leave behind? And it's not about my credit score. It's not about my house. It's not about the things that I gifted you. It's like, really, did I bring joy to your life? Did I add to your life, or did I suck the life out of you? And that's why I say that about everybody. If you're in a relationship, somebody's sucking the fucking life out of you,
gotta let it go.
You participating in it, so you need to let that shit go. Yeah. You need to find ways to complete yourself, and that doesn't mean you're perfect. It's completing yourself. Means like, you're okay. No one can bring joy to your life, but you're complete. Yes, people can bring joy to your life. You're a bonus. You're a +1. You add to my life. And I don't mean like, oh, I'm looking for him to add financially. Now, if that brings you joy, to each his own. But no one can make you happy but yourself. It's no one's responsibility to make you happy.
Facts.
You don't make me happy. You don't make me happy. It's not my job. But if I am sucking the life out of you, then that's a different conversation. Like, man, you suck the shit fucking life out of me.
I've had to tell Noemi, I'm like, look, your negativity from work, when you walk in through that door, when you get in the car, you need to tone it down a bit. I understand that you want to lash out, but you're just bringing in too much. But then after that, when I walked away from saying that, I was like, I need to let her just decompress.
Yeah.
So now I'm just like, okay, I'm taking the hits as soon as she comes. If it's past 20 minutes, I'm like, okay. So what is your resolution?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? We know how stressful it is to be a boss. And
yeah. And I could be like that too. I literally walk in this zone, stress the fuck out. And my energy can rub off on people, and I have to be like, okay, roommate, I think we need to simmer it down. You got a little hyped up there, girl. You can't find your keys. I'll be tripping off. I will lash out. I will literally not go off on people, but if I can't find my motherfucking keys, woo! I am a weirdo. If I can't find my keys, hijo de la gran puta, ¿a dónde están esas putas llaves?
Girl.
Like, it's the keys for me. I can't find my keys. I literally will lose my shit. Keys and rolling down my windows when their car is freshly washed will trigger me. But I'm a weirdo like that. And just to let the audience know, it is absolutely okay. I'm finally finding it to be okay to be weird. Like, you ever like wonder, like, you weird as shit? Like, I'm weird as fuck.
I tell my daughter, who wants to be normal? Being normal
is normal.
Boring.
This shit is not cool.
It's boring. So my daughters are super hip to that. Okay, you be you. You be your authentic self. Don't try to change yourself for nobody, and just because you think that's a cool way or the right way. No, you're gonna be yourself. If other people think that's weird, too bad for them.
Yeah,
too bad
seriously.
I always try to tell my kids and try to install that into them, like, be your authentic self. Don't try to fit into a group. Don't try to. It's their loss if they don't want to be your friends, or if they don't want to, have any type of relationship with you.
Yeah. You ain't shit, and ain't talking about you. But that's not the conversation. Yeah. Stand up for what's right, even if you're standing alone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, give love and compassion. It ain't always about you. And stand up for what's right, like, these kids out here, this is America. We are trendy, picky, choosy Americans. And, you want to be vocal because it's trendy. If everyone's tag teaming on someone bullying, and you just go along because it's cool, and God forbid I don't jump in it, then I'm not cool. It's like, no, that's not cool.
No. Do you usually go to the schools and talk to the kids and everything, or?
I personally, I literally just did one over the holidays with can't remember the name, but it was a group of children that either their parents are incarcerated, and it was around Christmas time, and I got to talk to them, and it felt really good.
I'm sure you left a huge impact on them.
I did. I had them laughing. I was saying all kinds of wild stuff, and I was just like, "You're young. Like, you're gonna."
I have no doubt.
If I give a tip to the youth right now, and I know we like a minute, and let me say, for the youth, that allow yourself to be your age. A 5-year-old is going to behave like a 5-year-old. A 10-year-old is going to behave like a 10-year-old. Every 7 years, you change from, like, the kind of music that even music changes. If you see everything, fashion changes. So what you got in taste in food and the kind of friends, the circle, like, you start to realize, I don't like being part of the Chiefs, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't, so allow yourself to be a teenager. Understand that if you're confused about your sexuality, if you're confused about, do I fit in? If you're confused, or if someone's bullying you, those type of things, it's not a forever. Sometimes the way you're handling it's absolutely okay how you handle it, even if you don't understand it. You're acting your age. And now what I want to say about the youth that are bullies, that shit is not cute.
Mm-mm.
Okay? It's not cute.
Yeah.
Like, you will become old one day. And you're going to probably, like, with that type of attitude, you're not going to end up with a wife. You're not going to have someone you're going to need a job one day. Your gangster homies are not going to sustain you. They're not going to feed you. They're not going to put a roof over your head. They're not going to give you yeah, you can be, in drug dealing and doing all kinds of messy stuff. That's just risky. Hey, to each his own. It's risky. But bullying and causing that type of chaos in someone's life, whatever, I'm very open to having a healthy conversation with bullies, because I feel like people do change, and hurt people. And I want y'all to know that, like, that type of behavior, like, it's not going to really take you that far in life. You're going to get old one day. You're going to probably need a nurse. You're going to need someone to take care of you. You're going to need to know how to go function and open up a bank account. Like, you can't act like that and think that you're going to get to this place in your life and being an adult and having a stable life. If you continue to make decisions like that, and God forbid you make a very bad decision by pushing someone to the edge to want to commit suicide, that shit may weigh over you, and you start having mental health issues, because you're affected by the effect that you had on someone's life. Like, what you do today, you got to pay the price, whether if it's good or bad. And so, like, just being aware. What is your reference of why you're mean to people? What is your reference? How are you treated at home? Some people have great upbringings at home.
Yeah.
I don't know where you're picking up this nonsense from, but you're not going to get far in life acting like that. It's not cute, especially if you're a girl. That's not pretty. That's not cute. I'm sorry. You don't get no points for that. And boys, you going to get you a busted old girl who's crazy as hell. You got to sleep with one eye open, because that's what you're going to attract. If you toxic, you're going to attract toxic people, and you're going to have to sleep with one eye open. And then it's going to be a first 48. It's just a domino effect. And then hurt people bring people into this world, giving birth to hurt children. That people got to be in your womb with all your toxic shit.
Yeah.
And then the black sheep is the one that fucking breaks the fucking curse. They be like, oh, she just does things differently. She's not as religious as us. She's not It's called breaking the chain, boo.
That's me.
Yeah, that's me too.
Come around, they know that if, like, I see something wrong, like, I don't care. Like, it's just if my uncle is saying something offensive or my aunt is saying something offensive, I'll, like, straight up say, what you're saying is so inappropriate right now.
Yeah.
And I just leave it at that and walk away. And so, like, I feel like people are walking around on eggshells with me, but at the same time, like, I'd rather have people have respect for each other. So I don't care if you're walking around on eggshells around me.
Yeah.
It's like, when you're around, please respect each other.
Yeah.
Don't be mean to one another, because you don't know what battle somebody else is facing, like, once the door is shut. So that's not cool. So.
Yeah. That part. And go through those adolescent stages. And we just have to be better for the future, and understanding that sometimes that is just a phase. And for some people, it's a lifetime of hurting other people.
Yeah.
And tying it back to raising our children and being leaders,
We have to
you got to instill that self-love. And because you're going to be tested in life, you're going to be tested on your spirituality, you're going to be tested in your faith. And we can't eradicate bullying, but they are an obstacle that we're going to overcome.
Yeah.
I was telling Marta that, like, kids are mean. They can be so cruel, and it can be off of, like, the dumbest things, like what somebody's wearing, type of shoes. Like, they're like fifth graders that are, like, fresh. They look fresh. The moment they see somebody rocking like some Skechers, they're gonna go on them and make fun of them.
Yeah.
and just be me and have a group of people and outcast that one kid that's wearing the Skechers or whatever it is that they're wearing that's not, in style. It could be over the smallest thing that it begins. And now that kid is not going to want to wear Skechers. Then he's not going to want to go to school. And he's going to tell his parents, I don't want to wear these shoes. I don't want them. Like, I don't know. It just starts so young and it just progresses from there. And I feel like it starts from home. Home.
And I feel like in the DMV, there's this culture when it comes to like kids have to have like the latest clothes, the latest shoes, and it's just like allow your kids to be kids. Like stop trying to like
make them grow up so fast.
Yeah, and like feel like material things are the only things that matter, So and I feel like in the DMV that's something that's really huge because I remember my brother growing up, he would rip up his shoes because like now he needs new shoes, but he would just like rip them up so that my parents would buy him new shoes.
See?
Yeah.
Like new Jordans, and like obviously Jordans are expensive, and like
he ripped them Jones up. Oh, una buena vergueada.
My parents didn't know. My parents did not know. They're just like, when did this happen? He was like, I was at school. I was playing soccer, and then this happened. They're like,
no.
I don't know how
these
he got
kids
away
will
with
finesse. They will right now. They're like certified finessers. Like nobody finesse like this new generation. My parents take me to Sears back in the day. I'm an 85 baby, so I used to go to Sears and I'd be like, the fuck, whatever though. my parents did their best, and I really shout out to my parents because they did it. They've done a damn thing raising me, and they still do, and I still need them.
That's beautiful. I still need my parents.
Shout out to all of our parents.
Yes, my parents are about to leave back to El Salvador like in 2 weeks, and I think since they moved, they retired last year.
They moved?
Well, yeah, they moved to they sold their house here and they moved to El Salvador, and so now they're only coming here to visit, right? So they're coming here and they've only been here for about 2 months and they're about to leave, and I'm like, I think I've learned to appreciate my parents more since they left because I was so used to them being like literally 5 minutes away from me, easy access, right? And now that they're gone, it's like I miss them. And so since my mom has come back, like I've been going over to like my sister's house because that's where they're staying. And I try to spend some time with them, even if it's just at the house. I'm trying to pick up on my mom's recipes. Girl, I'm trying to learn how to make tamales from scratch.
All that pane.
Okay.
You
I made quesadilla, pan de quesadilla, and I'm talking about con queso fresco, okay? My mom made cuajada fresco, and we made quesadilla that way. And she gave me the recipe. She gave me little key ingredients, little secrets. Yesterday I made pane de pollo.
I know.
Girl, this shit came out.
Okay, y'all making me hungry. Okay.
Sorry. But yeah, like I value my mom, and when I was younger, I was just like, my mom, my parents, my dad, whatever. But now it's like I value them so much, and I'm so grateful for them and how they raised me and how I want to raise my kids and what I want to instill in them.
How we want to raise them and how we don't want to raise them, because we take a little bit of what we like and what we don't like.
What we didn't like, what we did at. Like,
I definitely won't be doing that one, but I will definitely instill that.
Yes, I like to have an open communication. I want to have an open communication with my kids and not give them too much freedom, but give them the freedom that they deserve. My daughter is my oldest, so smart. And to me, I'm so grateful. She's 14. And she still acts like a 14-year-old. She doesn't act like
so beautiful
14-year-old girls that's wearing like, boobs out, looking like they 21 already or 18. My daughter still has that young mentality. I'm so grateful for that.
That's so beautiful.
I want to keep her there, but I know she's growing. I know she talks stuff at school. It's a little different. But for the most part, like she don't have social media. She sticks to her books and her drawings, playing piano. She's in her own world, and I love that.
That's amazing. Well,
me at that age,
you're doing a good job.
Look, 14 years old, I was already skipping. I want to drink, party. Complete opposite.
Yeah.
So crazy how that happens.
Isn't that crazy? Shout out to our plants, because y'all been like,
all of
our conversation.
Like, hey boo, look at me.
how do I look? You didn't even dust me. How you got me out here looking all dusty?
Look,
There we go. I was like, I just realized that our plants are in the video. I was like, look at them. They're all like,
hello.
they'd be like, suck it in, girls.
I'm done.
You know, they be sitting there talking. If they could only speak, and you know they do.
Yeah, they do.
Yes, they do.
Sorry, baby.
They really do. I use my humidifier. That like she is so long. She used to be shorter than that. And I got her from this lady called Planteria Chia here in LA. So she's like she's Hispanic, she's Mexican, and she has all these different plants and they're so beautiful.
I gotta go check her out.
Oh yeah, you'll love her stuff. I'm telling you. And it's not expensive. Like, you know, you go to like these different like plant shops out here and they're like $60 for a little thing and then it dies the next day.
Nah, bruh.
And
catch me paying that.
yeah. So Planteria Chia, like who goes to Mid City Mercado? That's where she usually hosts her stuff.
I love it there.
Oh yeah.
I gotta go. I still haven't.
You invited me and Carmen. We had such a freaking ball. My gosh. And those micheladas got me on point. I had 2 of them and I was feeling nice. I did not want to leave because the DJ was playing music. Carmen was like, we gotta go.
That was DJ Tune.
I follow him on IG now. I was okay. I was like his music.
Yep. And then he goes live like on Thursdays, I think. I believe he's still doing that.
Oh,
I'm not sure. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of like.
Excuse that noise in the background. That was my dryer. If you heard it, it was like me.
I was gonna say, is that your vibrator?
That motherfucker is ghetto. I gotta get a new washer dryer, guys. Wait, what did you just say, Yoselin?
I thought it was your vibrator.
Oh, definitely don't have one of those, but I do need to get one.
What?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, no, I don't need to get one. I would like one.
Not that I need one. I mean,
I would like one. I heard the rose be popping, but that's for another day.
Oh, I be seeing that all the time.
I was like, oh my gosh, that looks really nice. How it
I can only imagine. Just like it looks nice. Must feel nice.
Right. Shit. Yoselin's like, it looks nice.
It looks nice.
Let's not get specific.
Yeah,
it looks nice.
It's
very rosy.
Noemi has a thing called Barney, right? It's a purple thing. And maybe we should stop.
Should we say our goodbyes and then continue?
Yes.
Okay. So
I have a question.
Okay.
There's 2 questions, right? The first question is, I want you to name 3 things that you love about yourself.
Oh my gosh.
And then the next one is 3 things you're grateful for.
Okay. You want to go first?
3 things you love about yourself, Yoselin. Go.
Yeah, Yoselin, because
I can say the 3 things I'm grateful for. My family. My wealth, my health, and my kids. I mean, I'm grateful for my partner. I mean, I can go on and on. There's so many things I can say. I don't know. It sounds like silly.
No,
I don't know how to really answer the question. I'm grateful
Those
for
are 3 things you're
being
grateful
alive. I'm grateful for being alive. I'm grateful for my kids, my family, and my partner. I know I said maybe 4 there. There you go.
That's okay. And then 3 things you love about yourself. It could be physically, it could be internally, it could be something about you, something that's a part of you. Just 3 things that you love. And it doesn't even matter how imperfect it is. That's why you love it.
I love my personality. Man, I don't know.
And I think that's important. That's why we got to ask these questions. And these are like really good exercises for people to do, just because, life gets in the way. And these are the things that we have to remind ourselves about what we love about ourselves, because it's that buffer that you need to get through life's obstacles. It's like, well, I hate all these things about myself, but I do love to remind myself that I do love these 3 things.
I'm like embarrassed because I don't have an answer.
Okay. Well, I can tell you what I like about you.
Yeah.
Don't tell me.
I'm literally thinking.
I like your personality. I love, I think you're absolutely beautiful. I think you have beautiful features. I love your femininity. You sound like an amazing mom. So I love that about you. And I'm just scratching the surface on getting to know you. I already know you're like divine. So like,
thank you so much. That's sad. I can't even figure things out about myself.
No, it's okay. It's all practice. It's all practice. That's nothing bad. It's very common for a lot of us, you know, be like, shit, I don't know fucking that.
All right, Marta.
So what is it? 3 things we're grateful for and 3 things we like about ourselves? Well, about myself. Okay. So as far as like grateful, I'm so grateful for so many things, like having a roof over our heads, even though we have to move soon. Grateful for an amazing woman that I met and many other women that I've met as far as like friends, including you guys.
It's my vibrator, excuse me.
Yes.
There we go.
And then my family's growing. I have a nephew now, which is amazing, and a baby sister. So it's like family's growing. I'm so grateful that my family's growing. And I get to experience like them as little humans as an adult. Yeah. And then as far as like 3 things that I like about myself, or like or love?
Love.
Love? Okay.
Or like. It's the same thing.
So I love all of my imperfections. I feel like I learned to accept them and basically allowing myself to not define myself through my imperfections. What else do I love about myself? I love my mind. I really do love my mind. What's another thing? This is hard.
No, those are like very good. Those are like up my alley. What I was gonna say. A la puta, you stole my answers.
What else? Okay, another part of me. Okay, and then
I love your creativeness.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, that's part of my mind. Because I feel like my mind is mad. Like I feel like I'm a crazy person in my mind, but I feel like I love my madness. I love my madness.
It's
yeah.
passion in you.
I used to think I was just an angry person, but no, it's just I feel because you pointed it out, Diana. You were like, "You're not mad. You're just very passionate," and I was like,
"Yeah,
wow,
yeah." You really like you be like so invested. You know, shit. Well, I can give a fuck. Well, okay.
Yeah.
As long as you know, because you give a lot of fucks.
I have a lot to give, and it's really hard for me not to, because I'm just very, very passionate about things and people and humans. Like,
and a side note, I was going to bring this up earlier. If the people gave as much energy that they give into the negative things that happen in our life, what if we gave that same attention to all the great things? Like even the most simplest blessings, like, you know, I get to get in this car and drive. I get to go do my own groceries. I get to go, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get to bathe myself. Like, it's the little things, like, because there's people who, like with the boy with the skin disorder, I seen a video of him and he said, he was like, you know, there's people out here, you know, hating each other because of the color of their skin when I just want skin. His skin literally peels like the grape. Like if he makes a fist, those knuckles will burst. Like he had to have like several baths in a day, a special type of bath. He was never going to ever be able to have his own children. He was never going to be able to live a normal life. And while people out here killing themselves because of the color of their skin, here's one person who's like, I just want some skin. You know what I'm saying? I just want some skin. And it's like, if we gave how we, like I said, handling life's obstacles, like if we just gave that same attention that we give to negative shit, if we remove that and put our same energy into the amazing things that happen and things that work in our favor. When I say working in your favor, you got to come home tonight. There's people who did not get to have their children come home tonight, or their significant other come home tonight. So, manage your happiness.
Yeah.
Manage, discipline your disappointments. Manage your emotions, but that's it. That's what you're saying. Like, you're a passionate person,
Yeah.
and knowing how to redirect the things, how we feel. We're like, well, shit, I'm best because I give a fuck.
Yeah, my dad was like, "You need to stop. You're gonna give yourself a heart attack at a very young age." And I'm just like, "No, if it's wrong, and I'm going to say something about it." And I told both of my parents, "Blame yourselves because you guys raised me to be this person, to be outspoken."
Yeah.
My mom used to say, "No te quedes callada. Dile algo. Say something. If it's wrong, it's wrong." And then my dad too. "Stop being so quiet. Say something. Speak up." And then now that I'm speaking up and being loud, they're just like, "Hey, what's going on?" Like,
yeah, definitely not alone. Everybody, especially people that are like, even having a podcast like this is not really just for us, but it's for the people.
Yeah.
And people who are very passionate, there's people who have literally paved the way for us, like Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks. There's people who have sacrificed their freedom, their livelihood, their life. So, my dryer, it's ghetto. So like, shout out to people who are very open. I love you, sweetheart. Shout out to people who are very open about sensitive subjects.
Yeah.
And bringing light to things, to truths in subjects that are very sensitive subjects. And, it's risky. It's always risky. What we talk about today is risky. And, and people may judge you. Some people may love your podcast. Some people might be like, fuck your podcast.
Yeah.
But you are here we are a vessel of God, and everything that we talked about today, someone's going to get a little bit of what I said, about what Yoselin said, and Marta. And so when we're passionate, it's for a reason.
Yeah.
And we're not like whatever it is that we're like angry or passionate about, we're not alone in that. There's someone else that feels the exact same way that you feel. So, like Miss Jacqueline Norvell, she, brown bag lady, shout out to Miss Jackie. She said that my mama used to fan my fire. And I love that, because that is your purpose.
Yeah.
Is to make a difference in people's lives. And she, she goes out and feeds the fucking homeless, and she be talking some real shit. Amazing. She has dedicated her last 7 years. I want to say she's had Brown Bag Lady for like 7 years. She's dedicated a lot of time into her purpose and her mission to give back to the homeless community. And, somebody may not like what you do, and there's a lot of people who will. And it's not even about the numbers. If you impact one person's life, you're doing something right. Yes. And so let's not simmer down, the things that we're passionate about, maybe finding better ways of communicating what it is that we're very passionate about, so that we don't mislead the audience, with anger and all of that, because we want to be clear in our mission and clear in our purpose, because sometimes our purpose may be overseen by how we behave. Yeah. So people don't know how to articulate very well on what it is that they're passionate about. Now that's the end of my thought. But I love that about you, Marta, is that you're passionate, and you are a beautiful reflection of women empowerment. We've had some very deep conversations. So I love that you girls have put this podcast together, because you talk about real shit and you're passionate about it. Oh, you're not angry, you're passionate.
Yeah. I had to check my dad real quick. I was like, Pop, I'm not angry, okay? My friend Diana said. I'm passionate. And my stepmom, she actually agreed. She was like, yeah, I could see that. And I was just like, yeah. Thank you.
Okay. And you're like, yeah, I'm passionate. With a little spice outside.
Well, this was amazing. Thank you, Diana, for coming on with us. was
Thank
such a
you
pleasure
so
to have you.
much. It's so nice
Like,
meeting you.
yes, like, I'm so happy you guys got to meet each other. I knew you guys were gonna, like, mix well because you both are, like, super beautiful, like, as far as human beings. You guys radiate so much love, and I love that about you both.
I would like to apologize to you two in the audience that we've turned an hour and 41 minutes, and shout out to the editor who's going to be editing this, because it ain't gonna be
Wait, but before we leave, Diana, what are the 3 things that you're grateful for and the 3 things you love? You thought you were gonna get away with this.
I know.
3 things that you love about yourself.
I love. Okay, I'm gonna start with the things that I love about myself. I love Magdalena.
Oh yeah.
She is like my little alter ego. I love the different characters. I grew up my whole life. I be talking. Damn. I grew up my whole life with these voices and these characters that play in my life. It's like a cartoon. It's like a movie.
Yeah.
And I'd be thinking it'd be like, as Pisces, we are dreamers. I know there's like other Pisces out there that might be connected with me and be like, I'm letting you know you're not alone. I'm a dreamer, and I've always been a dreamer since I can remember.
Yeah.
And I love that I'm a dreamer, and I love that I've been able to find humor in my thoughts, to find and I was able to like create this. Come on. I love the voices that I make, the different voices, the different characters, because it is the humor. It's allowed me to find humor in the obstacles in my life, how I handle my relationship. You know, I love my humor. That's the second one. I love my humor. My characters these voices that I do have helped me find humor in the chaos between my roommate and I, because no one else can hear, see, feel what I'm hearing, seeing, and feeling, right?
Yeah.
I love my humor. I love, what else do I love about myself? I love who I've become and becoming. I love watching myself overcome my challenges. I love what I'm loving. The third part that I love about myself, I'm actually enjoying watching myself for once. Where before it was just life was happening, and for once I'm loving that I'm allowing myself to be still and just observe what I'm doing and how I'm doing, and I'm loving that I'm giving myself more compassion, because I'm very good at giving people love and compassion. I'll give you a million reasons why you'll be okay. I'll give you a million reasons why that was supposed to happen, but for the longest I would never do that for myself. Yeah. People don't fake depression. People fake being fucking happy, and I can fake my happiness very well. But you don't know the demons that I'm dealing with. So at where I'm at in my life right now, I love that I can watch myself and just observe myself be imperfect and get up when I fall and give myself grace and be like, you go, girl. Or you be like, bitch, you need to do better than that. I love observing myself. Yeah. I'm getting along a little better with my roommate. I know when I love watching Diana be a little bit more in control. I love watching her fall and get back up. So that's what I'm loving myself more, is being more observant. And the 3 things that I'm grateful for is, man, grateful for God, because he is so divine. And I thank him I'm very grateful that he has used me as a vessel. I'm thankful for God. So that's number 1. Number 2, I am very grateful for my, I'm going to say my family, but to dive in a little deeper, because I'm like that, you know. I'm very grateful for my partner, who has been so patient with me, because people really don't know what he's got to deal with. I'm a lot to deal with. Now, he isn't even dealing with me. Like, he experiences me, because he don't got to deal with me. He ain't dealing with me. He loves experiencing me.
Oh,
and
I like that.
And that may come
with some obstacles. I'm going to put your ass through a whole obstacle.
Listen,
It's going to be
we're
worth
all a lot
it.
to handle. I know all of us are a lot to handle. We are not easy.
We are a whole obstacle course. Okay. I'm harder than a driving test. Okay. I am hard to, I can be hard to work with sometimes. And he has taught me so much. I want to thank him. Shout out to Brandon Michael Torres, because he really, and he's a Leo and I'm a Pisces. Like, we are not compatible. Believe me, I've dived into like astrology and I'm like, you see, we're not compatible.
You be hating when you read that shit. Like, damn it.
But we're going to fight it because you're going to be with me forever.
Oh,
we've been together for going on 12 years this year.
Wow.
So like, shout out to Brandon, because he really, we got a almost 8-year-old, and we've gone through some things, and we've got some things that may not be cute, but we haven't gone through any ugly. And I feel like maybe it could have been a little ugly, but our humor and our relationship has allowed us to be together, because we're very humorous people. Marta knows, like, we'll throw jabs and we'll throw low blows, but that's like our recovery. He'll make fun of my arms. He'll call them like Armageddon or Armed and Ready, or he may crack. But see, I'm a humorous person, so that's something that we really connect well, is in comedy. Like, I'll talk about his height. He may talk about my arms. So we're even. You know what I'm saying? So we're even.
boy.
The third thing that I'm grateful for is another day. God dang. I'm thankful for another day. That's what that's another thing I'm grateful for, is another day. It's another day of making better decisions. Just making just another day a chance at life. And that is what I'm grateful for.
I piggyback on that too. Grateful for life. Yes,
definitely.
But I know we got to close out, guys. Thank you so much, Jocelyn and Martita, for having me. You guys are amazing, and I hope that everybody got a little something, from this. And you are divine and perfect just the way you are.
Thank you for joining us, and we hope to have you again in the future. Just to talk about life, talk about shit,
stuff, anything. Like,
you're good. You're good.
It's okay here.